If you were telepathic, what would language be like? Like, let's say you and your friend had like a Neuralink or something and you were communicating. What language would that be? Or like, would it be a language? Language is all about like sequential communication, where the current word only really makes sense if you look at the last few words, and you kind of receive information like one bunch at a time. There's tons of different strategies for organizing this information, and that's what grammar is. But with telepathy, would information even need to be communicated sequentially? For a lot of sentences, before you say them, you kind of already have the full thought in your head, and you only break it down sequentially to communicate it. But what if you could send that full thought to somebody else and it would immediately appear fully formed in their head? If you weren't careful, when you received that, you would basically feel like you thought of it yourself. I guess that there would need to be some sort of way to tag it as a foreign thought. But then if they thought of something else and then communicated that with you next, then it would be sequential. And in order to compose these sequential thoughts in a way that makes the most sense, you kind of would need some sort of grammar. It would just be very different from the current syntax of spoken or even signed languages. And I guess if you wrote it down, it would have to be like some sort of QR code that would get scanned by some implant in your head that would translate it into a thought, and otherwise you wouldn't really be able to read it. I don't know, this is just kind of like a random thought I had, but if you're watching this and it's like 2060 and I was correct about a bunch of stuff, give me some creds.